I can say it, guys. It's done. Alexis McAllister to Liverpool is officially done. It's not officially announced by the club, which I think could be imminent any time between this video going live and tomorrow morning. But it's done. Alexis McAllister is a Liverpool player. Now, we have to start thinking about what comes next. So, I've got a bit of a theory here on this one. With Alexis McAllister only costing 35 million, and with Liverpool rumoured to have been at the beginning of their interest when it was first reported, guys, 60-70 million pound was mentioned about there. We've still got 30 to 35 million budgeted that we could have got, spent on McAllister available still. So, in my opinion, I believe Kone might be next, just due to the fact of the relationship with Schmatke's son, who is now officially the sporting director there. I did mention it in one of my videos. He was rumoured to becoming the sporting director, but it is now official. He is the sporting director of Borussia Mönchengladbach. So you'd think the negotiations there will be pretty straightforward. He's rumoured transfer fees between 30 to 35 million. So again, if we were budgeting to spend up to 65 on McAllister, then that money is still available to go and get Kone. Now, the way this theory comes in, guys, is I have been, since we were first linked with Thuram and Kone, of the opinion that we may just get one or the other. Now we've got McAllister for so much little. If you believe the 35 million, according to Fabrizio Romano, he's saying that, then I think there's enough money left over there to get Thuram as well. So I believe, and I've got nothing to go off on this is just my opinion, that we could end up signing Kone and Thuram. The money's there. There's no excuses why we couldn't. The only reason why I think we may not sign both, if we're going against that, is it was one or the other because they're just one player to fill one position, if that makes sense. I have been thinking lately that maybe Thuram could play further forward alongside McAllister, and Kone could be like the understudy to Fabinho or the replacement for Fabinho. But maybe Klopp's got different ideas and he sees Thuram and Kone both as the player to replace Fabinho. Do you know what I mean? So let's see what happens there, but the money is available now for Liverpool to go and get another midfielder, as well as getting somebody else as well. There's no excuses in my opinion. And I just want to touch on one other thing as well in this video. Jude Bellingham, it's been announced by Fabrizio Romano that it's official now, it's all gone through. 80-something million pound, 103 million euros. It's done, guys. We can stop talking about it. Are we happy about it? Nah, we're not. Especially after all the legwork and supposedly saving all the money. The owners have let the club down really much there. They've just dropped the ball on this one, guys. Like, I do not believe for 1 second that after pursuing this deal for 3 years, that in April or whenever it was this year, Liverpool just realised all of a sudden, oh, this deal's a bit expensive for us. They would have known months and months and months ago how much money it would have cost in players' wages and transfer fee. They would have known ages ago. So the only thing I can possibly think of is that they didn't realise how much of a rebuild they actually need to do and need to spend the money elsewhere, or if they just FSG just turned around and said, you know what, we're about selling the club, and we're not willing to spend that much money on one player. Who knows, guys? But it's done now anyway. I will say this one thing, though. He's only 19, so Real Madrid doesn't have to be his final destination. He could spend 3-4 years in Real Madrid, turn 25, 26, and then come to Liverpool afterwards. So it may be goodbye, Jude, for now, but we could be saying, hey, Jude, in a few years' time. You never know that, guys. Next up, I wanted to touch on the Man United stuff that's going on. Now, you might be thinking, why is he talking about this? I've just mentioned the sale of the club. So I've been of the opinion of the past month we're in, about 6 months now, that FSG were waiting to see what happened with Manchester United before coming up with a price in their head on how much they would sell Liverpool for. Now, just to think about this, if, say for instance, FSG wanted 3 billion for Liverpool, and then Man United got sold for 5 or 6, you would think that FSG would be kicking themselves because they'd be thinking, we could have got another billion there. And it's pure greed, guys. They do not care what we think or anything like that. It is just putting money in their pocket, and it's all down to business numbers for them. So I honestly think if we see Man United go, and we've had the reports today that the Qatari bid has put in their final bid, and if it's not accepted, they're walking away. Yeah, and I don't know. I've not seen any figures, but I'm guessing it's around 5 billion for the full club. But Jim Ratcliffe is offering like 5 billion for a percentage of the club. So if that is the case, then you're probably looking at about 4.5 billion for Liverpool. Just going on them figures, guys. For me, in all seriousness. Now I know some people are going to start going, oh well, if the Qataris walk away from Liverpool, from Man United, they might come and buy Liverpool. He's basically come out and said he's a Man United fan, guys. So do you really want that? Or it could be like feel a bit spurned by it. Do you know what I mean? Like a little bit burned by it. And he might want to like get a bit of revenge. So maybe he would just come and fuck it. I'll buy Liverpool and I'll turn them into whatever. I don't have to spend half as much money on building a new stadium. I don't have to spend half as much money on the training ground. All I need to do is just fund the team and get some players in, and we'll be winning again. It's a bit of a cheaper option, isn't it? Long term, you'd think is Liverpool compared to Manchester United at this moment in time. But let's see what happens there. But yeah, just keep an eye on that. It's breaking. Obviously, the deadline is Friday for this Qatari bid. So let's see what happens here, guys. And once that's sorted, we might see some movement on the Liverpool side of things. Now, just to finish this video off, I do want to touch on James Pearce's article that's come out today. And he's basically saying that Liverpool are willing to sell Leighton Clarkson as they continue to fund their midfield rebuild, but Fabio Carvalho is only available on loan. Now, Clarkson is expected to secure a permanent move after a productive season at Aberdeen, where he scored 6 goals, made 9 assists in 38 games, and helped them qualify for Europe. Now, Aberdeen are potentially trying to get this deal over the line and keep him up there. I'm skimming, reading a bit more further down. So yeah, Liverpool are open to selling Clarkson, and senior Anfield figures remain adamant that Carvalho isn't available for permanent transfer. Liverpool rejected a bid of around 10 million from RB Leipzig, whose game time has dwindled during the second half of the season. There are loan moves offers available from Premier League clubs on the table, which is still regarded as the most likely outcome this summer. And then he just goes on to say that now that McAllister is done, who underwent his medical on Tuesday, there is now Bayern Munich's Ryan Gravenberch, Nice's Kefren Turam, Southampton's Romeo Lavia, Borussia Mönchengladbach's Manu Kone, and Celta Vigo's Gabriel Vega are all under consideration as Liverpool establish who is available and at what price. And he does just finish this off by saying there is no interest in Barcelona's midfielder Frank Kessie, despite reports in Spain suggesting that Liverpool were willing to pay 30 million for the player. So, out of these players that James Pearce has put here, Ryan Gravenberch, Thuram, Lavia, Kone and Vega, who do you think could be, let's say, the 2 that we sign? I'm kind of coming towards the feeling we might end up with 4 midfielders, but then that's a little bit too overkill. Then I don't know, guys. Maybe we wouldn't, unless there's some movement there. And if you sell a midfielder, we potentially might get 4. But let's just say if we go with 2 after signing McAllister, which 2 of these would you like to come in? For me, I don't know why, guys, but I'm going towards that Vega for some reason and Thuram. But I'd be happy with any of them. They're all very good players. Ryan Gravenberch has been one that's been linked to us heavily. His agent was at Anfield in January. Klopp's spoken to the family, so you would think that the potential that is one that Liverpool are trying to get over the line, because you wouldn't go to lengths of speaking to the family if you had no interest in getting that one done. On to Fabio Carvalho. I do think he'll be loaned out, guys. I've been asked the question, do I think he'll be sold? I do think it's going to be a loan. The only way I personally see this is being sold is if the player outright refuses to go on loan and pushes for a permanent move. That's the only reason I see him being sold this summer. It's good to see at Liverpool, potentially getting rid of some of the youngsters that have got no chance of breaking through. Potentially, hopefully we get some sort of buyback clause into these deals just in case they do take off. And then, actually, one last thing before I go, guys. I saw something the other day, and I can't remember where I saw it now, but there was this thing going around saying that Liverpool are back in for Moses Caicedo. Brighton want about 80 million for him, but Brighton are interested in 4 Liverpool players. Kelleher, Carvalho, Elliott and Jones. So, do you think that there's a possibility that Liverpool could send to Brighton Kelleher and Carvalho and get Caicedo in, with a bit of cash as well in exchange? Let me know down below, guys, what you think about that. And then, again, I keep saying it, one last thing, I will be doing a live stream this Friday. I will put a post out tomorrow on the times. It's probably be about 5:30 till about 6:15, 6:30 time-ish. Just do a quick one for an hour or so. Get your questions in, give you my thoughts and opinions, and we'll see if there's anything that's breaking while we're doing this live stream, guys. Anyway, that's it for today. McAllister is a Liverpool player, and now the question is, who's next? And I'll catch you in the next one.